What would I say?
Yeah, what would you say?
I would have said something mid-memorial, be like, have you lost your motherfucking mind?
We're
praising Grandpa over here for his life of accomplishments, setting the scene, and you're here sucking face, playing tonsil hockey.
It's disrespectful. The disrespect.
And welcome back to Give It To Me Straight. I'm Jon. She's Alex. She has no voice. I'm going to talk for both of us. This is a whole podcast of me just talking.
Wow, that would actually be crazy.
It wouldn't be much.
It would be a 15-minute episode.
We're going to have to turn the volume up on Alex's mic.
I know. Okay. So, number one, I want to apologize because this is my own fault for losing my
You're the
voice.
problem. Mm-hmm.
I actually blame Kat because I had too much fun with Kat when she was in town, and I just yelled a lot. So
I almost feel bad for you.
I also want to apologize to everyone because I hate listening to podcasts when people sound different. Like you can always hear people's voices, and they're like, "Are they sick?" Is it
Sounds like you've been like chain smoking for 40 years.
If only.
But we give you respect because no matter what, every week we do this episode.
But I don't blame you if you don't want to listen to me.
We do this
disgusting.
podcast. No, I know it's been
I have my tea. Also, we probably sound echoey because we got rid of all the furniture in here. You guys have never seen the behind. I can't help but talk anyway.
You're like, you're going to have to talk for me. I haven't talked
You guys have never seen behind the cameras. It was full of like all the stuff that we like.
You could literally just say, we've moved everything out of our house besides the little nook we're in right now for the podcast. As soon as we're done with this episode,
John's going to love this
we're
because
just going to pack everything up.
He's good at just condensing sentences. And
You're just like dragging it out. Like, just tell them everything is moved but the podcast.
They need the
area.
details. They need the details. So anyway, if it sounds a little echoey, that's why. Everything's out. We're ready to go.
We'll fix it.
And then we'll be filming. This podcast will still be going. We'll just be in a different spot. But then in like 3 or 4 months, we'll be back in this place and it will look different. This wall won't be white.
What color are we doing? Black or I want like a dark green.
I don't know. I don't think we've decided paint colors yet.
I like dark greens though.
Me too.
I like blacks and dark
greens. But
greens.
then our plants won't pop.
Oh.
So that's an issue.
We'll see.
Also, we got like several messages about filming our ads. And I guess one of the episodes that we did, you were laughing so hard. And I didn't realize that like if you're listening on an app and you're not actually watching us on YouTube, we're acting out the ads. So like there's a reason why we're trying to hold back our laughter. It's because when we do read the ads, we're also acting.
Listen, I know I'm not the best at reading ads, so I'm like, if I can make up for facial expressions and movement when Alex does hers, I'll just do whatever it takes.
So if you're only listening, you're missing out.
You are missing out. That's true.
Yeah. So head to YouTube, subscribe.
Man, we've just had a crazy couple days. Every day I feel like it's crazy. This is our last day here for a while. What else? What else is going on? You want to talk about our weekend? I feel like everything I have is just revolved around this past weekend.
Yeah, sure. This
is why we're drinking non-alcoholic drinks right now. I feel like we're both kind of in timeout. More so.
Mine's a hot toddy.
Do you have liquor in yours? Good for you.
It's tea, but a hot toddy.
You do need that for your throat.
That's not real.
That's a remedy. Yeah, you put like a bourbon or a whiskey in there to like lube up your throat a little bit. So,
because I'm pretty sure it's probably because of this weekend of drinking that my voice sounds like this.
We went to Venice Beach over there.
Santa Monica.
We went to this like cool bar over there, and I just feel like when we say day drinking, we just need to keep it to day drinking. Goo and I were talking about that. It's like the minute the sun goes down, we should be home because we've crested over and it's too late.
It's true. And now that it's summer, though, it stays light so late, though. It's like, it's really not nighttime until
That's 9. A good point. Maybe that's where I'm like, oh, we keep going.
Exactly. No, but you're right. As soon as the sun sets, it's like, don't they call that for like people in, sundowning when you worked in the nursing home?
Right.
You go crazy when the sun goes down.
Crazy is not the correct term, Alex, but yeah.
What is it?
I don't honestly remember. It's almost like you have...
Well, Jon, I'm trying to be appropriate here. And you're like, that's not the right term. Well, what do I say?
Like cognitively, mentally, shit happens, like hallucinations, stuff like that. I think, it just depends on like what their diagnosis is. So get it right, okay?
Okay.
No, anyways,
It was fun. It was a new spot.
It was fun. I definitely got a little too intoxicated. I fell on my back in front of everyone. I like either tripped over someone or I tried picking someone up. I don't remember. It was pretty embarrassing though. And then I just feel like we spent way too much money at the bar. It's crazy. I'm over here buying people drinks. I look over. I could look over and I saw you at the other bar with your arm in the air with your credit card. I'm like, we are so fucked. We both are like, because we don't go out that often. When we do, we're like, oh, drinks. Everyone drinks.
It was expensive. But that's just going out. We don't go out anymore, though. You know, like how often? What was the last time we did that?
Oh, forever.
That's what I mean. Like, and we used to survive like that every weekend when we lived in Raleigh.
Every weekend, it was like every day.
In Raleigh.
You used to shoot weddings, 14-hour-a-day weddings, and you would meet me out at the bar afterwards. That's crazy. That's so crazy.
Some different type of like youthful energy that we had. And now it's like one day we did that. Shot for 4 days. I'm still recovering.
But we're going to Catalina this upcoming weekend. So in a couple of days, we're so excited to go. They're doing the Catalina wine mixer. It's not, they started doing it after the movie, right?
Yes.
After Step Brothers.
Yeah, we spoke about it.
Oh, we did. Okay.
Yeah.
So, but that's like a whole weekend of binge drinking also. We're like, oh my God, we're going to have to.
No, I'm going to try to lock it up.
We're going to be good.
Well,
people.
This podcast will be live after we have gone. So if any of you guys follow us on our personal Instagrams, you'll see if we actually were able to lock it up or not.
This next podcast episode, Alex will have literally no voice at all. And I'll just be dead.
This is miserable. Like it's painful. I hate how I sound, but also it's just, I have to like hold back and all I want to do is talk. Like people call me and I'm like,
that's really tough for you.
I can't talk. It is tough for me, John.
Because you strain your voice. You're not even like, you got to go from your diaphragm and not your esophagus.
But I need to practice. The thing is like, I know that, but I don't know how to do that. Am I doing it now?
Actually, speaking of this, there's actually two other things of the past week I need to talk about. One is a joke or prank that went wrong because we met a guy at the bar and like, I don't know, we just became drinking friends like that day and he knew who we are or whatever. And I was like, well, you know, Alex is here, right? And he's like, oh, really? I go, you know, you should do. You should.
No. Let me tell my side of the story first. So I'm walking through the bar and this guy stops me. He grabs my arm and he goes, hey. And he goes, your husband was just the biggest dick to me. And I go, oh, no. Like, honestly, I was so concerned because I was like, John's out here ripping shots and ruining our brand. I was like, we need to be nice to people. Like, I get that sometimes you're in a mood, but like, this is not okay. We can't have people telling me that you're being mean. Like, we can't be mean, John. And I was like, I'm sure there was a misunderstanding. I don't know. I need to find John.
First off, that's not what you said to me.
But at first. So I go up to John and I go, someone just came up to me and said that you were a complete dick to them. And John was like, I wasn't a dick to anyone. And then you got mad at me for accusing you of being a dick to someone. And I was like, okay, whatever. So it wasn't until later, John's like, well, what this guy look like? And I go, he had a cowboy hat on, John. And John goes, oh.
No. I still didn't get it.
But you were like, oh, we were friends. You were like, we were drinking friends. And you're like, this guy, he was probably fucking with you because we were drinking.
Oh, okay.
Like you said that you were hanging out with him for a while. So I'm like, okay, whatever. I'm still, whatever. I'm like, I'm glad that you were friends with him and he felt comfortable enough to throw you under the bus like that. But
the point of this was, I told the guy, I'm like, no, it'd be funny if you go up to Alex and tell her that I was being a huge dick to you. And the thing is, I didn't remember I told him that until yesterday. So like, I forgot about the joke that I planted. And so Alex getting mad at me and then I'm drunk defending myself saying I wasn't mean to anyone. So then it was just like a big fight between us because of a joke
that John didn't remember. Literally.
Oh man. Hey,
days
it
go by.
was funny at the time though. Yeah. So he didn't remember either. Until I asked him about it yesterday. I'm like, did I actually tell that guy?
He probably did remember. He was probably like, I don't get why this is an issue. whatever.
I think what's more of an issue is instead of like talking to me about it,
now tell me how it's
Alex
my
immediately
problem.
just was on the defensive, like, why were you addicted to someone?
Because
not John.
when someone says your husband was addicted to me, why would I not believe them? Like, you are addicted to some people, so why would I not believe
Only
that?
people that deserve it.
Well, yeah, and I was
You
asking
assumed.
questions. I wasn't assuming, John. Someone came to me
So
with information.
basically, my wife was not in my corner initially either way.
I asked you about it, and then you said you were friends, or you had met that day and you were friends. And so I said, okay, I'll let it go. Like, this guy was obviously fucking with me. But little did both of us know that you actually started that prank on your own.
And then the last thing I want to talk about the drinking weekend is due to that, my hangover anxiety. It's just like, the older I get, it's so bad and it's crippling. I didn't want to leave the house. All day Sunday, I was just like, I wasn't even like hungover, nauseous or anything. I was just like sad and depressed.
If anything, that's
worse.
That's what's worse than having a headache and like feeling like shit. Having hangover anxiety.
And you didn't do anything. And well, at least I didn't realize I didn't do anything until the next day.
Yeah.
But even the days.
But like nothing went wrong. It was a great time. But yeah, it's like
fuck?
you just like feel bad.
Yeah.
Yeah. It almost makes it not worth it. But
almost.
But then somehow we always cycle back.
But we also have Catalina wine mixer this weekend.
I know,
so
right? There's always
we're gonna
an
be
excuse.
good. We're gonna be good.
Correct. All right. So shall we jump into questions, John?
We shall.
I might read some, and then I might have to pass them over to you because this hurts.
Just give me the easy
All right.
ones.
John, well, both of us. What are your thoughts on couples that swing? Why do you think couples choose to swing? And do you think that is a healthy foundation for a relationship?
To each his own. If you both are into it, do it. I am not going to knock anyone for what they like.
You're not going to yuck anyone's yum. I think that's a saying.
I've never heard that before.
I feel like I've heard someone say that.
Kind of makes sense though.
Right. Yeah.
But I mean, if you both are down and cool with it, I could see it being a tough, like, because you never know, like, you might be a little bit cooler with it than your partner, or your partner might be a little cooler with it than you. And I feel like it could go wrong really quickly.
I think couples swing for, or choose to swing for a plethora of reasons. Maybe they're bored in their sex life. Maybe they both are so open and they're curious. Maybe it's just something that they like to do before. Like, I don't know. And do I think it's a healthy foundation? It's what you said, like, to each their own. If it's healthy between you guys, that's what works. For me personally, I'm too jealous that I would be like, no.
That's the thing though. Even if you think you're not and you both are open, one's always going to be, there's no way both partners are like equally like cool with whatever. Because I could see if we walked in somewhere and you were hooking up with someone like hotter than I was hooking up, I'd be like, dude, what the fuck?
Right.
What is this?
Yeah, what is going on?
This is bullshit.
I don't remember if it's like a
You got A team, I got B team.
A book I read or like a podcast I listened to. I think, like, again, to each their own. It's not going to be everyone's cup of tea. It's not mine, but if it's yours, cheers to you.
But you really do have to like be very, very like specific and talk about details with each other before going into it.
John's like, this is me planning on how to ask Alex to
No,
swing.
I'm saying in general, there's too many variables.
Variables.
Verbals.
Variables. Next question. How do I get my boyfriend to stop vaping? He hates when I make him feel like I'm controlling him, but I'm seriously worried about his health. Any tips or tricks to get him to change for himself?
Yeah, give him another habit to start smoking.
That sounds healthy. I think ultimately, we talk about this all the time, that people don't change until they're ready. And he has to be the one who wants to change. And this isn't going to be a healthy...
Sabotage all of his vape pens.
Well, I was going to say, this isn't going to be a healthy tip, but maybe make him feel ashamed of vaping. Just be like, you look so stupid when you do that. Like, or just be like, it's embarrassing. Like, I don't know, just maybe shame him a little bit. That's not necessarily good advice, but I don't know. I don't think he's going to change until he's ready to change.
Start putting out little like subliminal messages, like little magazine cover here if someone with like popcorn lung, or like magazine in the bathroom with like Surgeon General warnings.
You know, Fia James, one of like another content creator, we love her, but she did a video about, she was like, listen, I'm not condoning smoking, you know, she's like, but I will say, if I see you vaping and like you're a hottie patati, like you're no longer
She'll
hot.
pass. She'd be like, done.
Exactly. But if I see you whip out a cigarette, that's a little cooler. Not saying that you should do either, but I just thought that was a funny take. I was like, that is
Which
true.
one's worse?
I think they're both probably shitty. Probably cigarettes are worse. I don't know though. I'm not a health expert in either of these, so I don't have any idea. Don't listen to us, but
I wonder what's more like, because you're probably chiefing on that e-cigarette more than a cigarette, and you know you have a cartridge, you could just hit that thing constantly.
Right. Yeah.
It's probably more. I wonder if it's more affordable too. That's an issue.
I think they're probably both not great.
But what other vice? Is there any other vice you could do that would make it less like? Does nicotine patches, any of that shit help?
I don't know if that's would help with vaping. I have no idea.
Tell you won't have sex with them.
Yeah.
Give them ultimatums.
Next question. I, 26-year-old female, am thinking about moving out of my parents' house and into my own apartment soon. I will be living alone. Any tips on how to tell my very overprotective and very helicopter parents about this? And any tips on safety while living alone? Change your locks, get a Ring doorbell, share your location. Never answer the door for anyone. Triple double lock when you're not home.
I mean, are you trying to be nice about it to your parents? They're like, don't worry about me. And then like tell them like you have everything covered and then give them those examples of what you're going to do based off of what you just said, Al. Or like, I would be like, I'm fucking 26 years old. I can do whatever I want. And that's kind of like the more toxic way of saying it.
No, I just think that you can explain to them that you're at a point in your life when you want to be more independent and you can afford a place on your own. And this is something maybe you bring them to the apartments that you're looking at to make them feel more comfortable. You know, like you, of course, want to be safe, but there's always going to be risks. It's about you being smart. But I think your parents are going to understand you're 26, girl. Like, you know, you got to get out of the nest at some point. And if you could afford it and now's the time, good for you. Your parents should be on board with that.
I think Alex's way is obviously the best way. Me, myself, I'm like, I'm going to do whatever I want to do. Like, if I had a helicopter parent, that would really bother me. I'd be like, you can fuck off. Mm-hmm. I'm an adult. But then again, you've been living with them under their roof. So I understand them having like rules and whatnot. But once you're financially stable and get all your ducks in a row, then have that conversation with them.
Right.
But
well, congrats though. That's exciting. Yeah. Next question. Should I go on a date with a former high school teacher who found me attractive in high school and would like to date me now that I've graduated?
From high school?
She's no longer, or he's no longer in high school. They're out of high school. They've graduated.
They're like 19.
But it's a teacher. I mean, this could be years ago, but a teacher wants to take them out.
No, I wouldn't.
I agree.
And the only reason I'm saying no, not only because that's fucking weird of the teacher.
Even if you're of age.
The teacher's like, I have standards.
The fact that they were attracted to you or had some sexual feelings of you while you were in high school, so you were a minor, red flags. That also means this person, this teacher, has their radar out always.
Look at this hunting ground. All the children.
Exactly. The kids, they stay the same age. Children. They stay the same age. However, I will say it is a regret of mine never having some relationship with like a college professor. I feel like that would be hot. Did you?
No.
Jon?
No.
Did you?
No, I did not.
Yes, you did. I could tell, Jon.
Nope, I did not.
Boo.
No, I didn't.
Fuck, Jon, you never told me that.
There may have been some flirtatious going on.
But college is different.
But for me, I was like, no, you're my professor.
Jon, I'm jealous.
Unless you're going to give me an A.
I'm not jealous, like, of you and that girl flirting. I'm jealous that, like, you had a situation. Like, I would have loved to have that. That's fun. You're like, I'm the man.
I'm the man. Wait, just hold on. Go back to this guy for a second, or the teacher.
It could be a girl.
Whoever. My takeaway, besides him being a creeper, the professor, the teacher, is for yourself. This person's already experienced so much in their life. You're 19. You're out of high school, or
even if you're in your 20s,
whatever.
Yeah,
like, you got time to experiment and live your life. Like, I don't care if even if it was just like a random 40-year-old and you're like 18, 19. I'd be like, no, do your own thing.
Yeah, I just think that, like, from your perspective, the red flag has to be, why would this person find me attractive as a minor in those years? Like, no, They should, it's just very, it's very ick. There's lots of red flags there. It's an immediate no.
Save yourself. Next question. My wife and I have been together for 4 years. We have 3 amazing children. I found out 1 year into our marriage that my wife had cheated on me right before our wedding. We just had our first child together and I didn't want to leave and break up the household. Now 3 years later, I still harbor that betrayal and think about it every so often. Is it selfish to want a divorce over something that occurred so many years ago? Living with it is becoming difficult. I really thought time would make things better.
I think time only makes things better if you do the work to make things better. Like you're constantly working towards what the issue was. If you just slapped a Band-Aid on it, time isn't going to necessarily make it better. Like have you had conversations to fix behaviors? Have you gone to therapy? Like what actions have you both taken? You know what I mean?
I feel like 3 years in, that ship has sailed of you like harboring on it. I think you should have had this discussion early on.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Like, I don't think the ship has sailed unless it's addressed. Like,
no. I'm saying the ship has sailed about him being like, about the betrayal and all this stuff. Like, you should have addressed this early on. For 3 years, now you're 3 years into your relationship, and now it's like, it's just become too much. The fact that you've gone 3 years and it's steadily creeping up on you, like, you should have had this conversation. Not only... I mean, she deserves to have that conversation. I mean, fuck her for cheating on you, but you're wasting both your time. If the reason why you're thinking about getting a divorce is because of something that happened 3 years ago that you didn't have a convo about, then
well, that's what I'm saying. Like,
it's on him.
I don't necessarily put it on time though. Like, if maybe it was just something that you guys didn't talk about or address those issues, like, but that's what I'm saying. Like, what work have you done to overcome those problems in your relationship? Because then, like, you can't necessarily blame it on time. You have to, like, act on things. Like, grief maybe with time. Like, there's certain things that, like, time heals all wounds. But, like, it does if, like, you can fix behavior. Like,
it does if you confront the problem.
But, like, why do you still not trust? Like, are there still feelings?
I don't think it's not that he doesn't trust her. I think it's just he's harboring that resentment, betrayal from the cheating. So the problem was never confronted or discussed about. So it's just eating at him from the inside out.
Right.
And that's kind of the issue I'm having here. It's like, I get he thought, hopefully time would heal, but it doesn't. Like you said, if guilt or something's one thing, but betrayal or something that's happened to you, that's tough. But I do think that's kind of on you that you waited so long.
Well, I think you guys just have to do the work, you know? Like, if it's something that's unforgivable for you, you just have to ask yourself why.
But maybe it's not unforgivable. I think it's just because you haven't talked about it. So the main takeaway here is you're going straight to divorce. If you're able to live 3 years, you have children, and if she has done nothing since then, like, I would have talk to her first, or talk to a marriage counselor, or together, whatever, before you just go straight to divorce. Like, that's a harsh cut.
It's building up that trust again. And, like, again, trying to
think about it this way. You should have broken off the wedding beforehand.
Well, he didn't know until after they got married. I think that's what you said.
I found out 1 year into our marriage. Oh, yeah. Fuck.
So it's not like he had that opportunity.
That's fucked up on her. She's like, I'll wait. And then I'll
I mean, like, I understand his feelings of that, but I don't think time is just gonna, like, these are things that you need to address, like, in that moment, like, when you found out, and, like, what are you working towards to either fix your relationship or say, fuck it.
Yeah. Okay.
I mean, again, I don't think it's too late. Like, it's communicating, going to therapy, putting the work in, building back that trust.
Just do something before you just go straight to divorce. Right. So that's what we're basically saying. Okay. Next question.
All right. You could read this one. I'll read the rest. It is hard as a listener to pay attention. I don't know if it's because you're reading it or if it's just hard when you're listening.
Next question.
Like, is it hard for our listeners even when I'm reading it? I don't know. It might be hard to pay attention.
Well, be an active listener.
I am.
I'll read it even slower.
No. You don't have to.
I'll read it even slower. Not because I have to.
Just, like, look at the punctuation.
Is it weird to marry your step-sibling? My husband and I have been together 9 years. We met after our parents got together, and eventually they got married. A few years down the line, we hooked up and started dating while my mom and his dad were still married. It eventually got out to everyone, and it was weird at first, but then as time went on, it was like, why haven't we been together this whole time? Now, to ease a few minds, our parents got divorced 5 years ago, so technically we aren't step siblings anymore. My husband and I love listening to your podcast and wanted to give you an out of the ordinary question.
Okay.
I held my breath for like part of that. I was like, I don't want to fuck up the punctuation on this.
Listen, you're not blood. Whatever people might think, I mean, that is also a huge kink, but whatever people might think, you're not blood. Who the fuck cares? Right? Or is it weird? I don't think it's.
I mean, everyone thinks that weird. Everyone thinks we're siblings, so like
that's just because we look alike. But I really like if you actually think about it, like you're not really related. So who cares?
So her mom and his dad were married. Then they got together,
like,
and then wait. Just I'm cliff noting this. Their parents were married. Then they got together. Then their parents divorced, and they stayed together.
Cliff noting it for yourself.
But that's it, right? That's this whole paragraph. That's basically what it is.
Yeah. So no, their parents got together. And they were step siblings, and then they got together, then their parents got divorced. Yeah, exactly, so they're no longer step siblings. But I mean, again, like, I think, what's the difference between...
I got to tell a story.
What? Wait, okay, but what do you think on that?
Who cares? No, I mean, everyone meets different ways. So as long as you're not blood.
Yeah, I mean... It could be worse where you don't know that you're siblings, like that one Netflix story.
Someone's going to message you and be like, well, I'm married to my second cousin. How dare you? Like, I can't win here.
Wait, no. But you know that Netflix documentary about the doctor who impregnated all those women with his own seed in the same area. And then people started dating and then getting married and they were actually siblings.
Did they have like
baby
complications?
I don't know. I don't know if it got into that, but like maybe. But it was a real story. Oh fuck, I don't remember what it was called.
I remember. I mean, I didn't watch it because I don't care about documentaries. But
you don't care about anything that's remotely interesting.
Was Chris Hemsworth in it? Was it like Extraction? Then I'll watch it.
No, it had the real people in it, John. It was traumatic for them.
Were there any guns or anything in there? No, then I don't care.
Speaking of guns, we did just start Sopranos. Never seen it before. Anyway, we digress.
Half the Italians.
I don't think it's weird. I mean, yes, on the surface, of course it's weird to marry your step sibling. Like it's just something that would be on like Pornhub or something. But I just think that you're not blood. It's fine.
You're fine. You're good. I do got to tell this story because this is even worse. Not saying this is bad, but just like I went to high school with this guy. Him and this girl were dating, and then she broke up with him and she started dating his dad.
Ooh,
and then they got married. And then he had to call her his stepmom.
That's the way to do it. I always joked, in like our friend group.
This guy also had meth teeth, so I'm not.
John, in our friend group though, like we would always just joke. One of our friends, her dad was like so hot. And he was single, but would like buy his girlfriend's boobs. And so I would always joke, I'd be like, I can't wait to marry your dad and get boobs. And then you have to call me mommy.
Wow. And now you can buy your own boobs. So it's
now
crazy.
I can buy my own boobs. John, should I buy some boobies?
You know what? I love your body. You do what you want.
Nice answer. You've practiced. You've learned. Since
you do whatever you want. I mean, I'll be happy with whatever you want.
Either way.
Exactly.
Thank you. I don't mind being part of the itty bitty titty committee, but my friend just showed me her boobs the other day. Really nice.
But they're fake.
I know, and they're really nice.
I wouldn't know. I didn't see them, but I'll take your word for it.
Touched them. They looked great.
Were they really hard?
No.
They make soft. I've only hung out with one girl one time who had fake boobs, and they were like cement bags.
They might have been new. They might have not have like settled. I don't know. Okay, John, you should never be punching anyone's tits ever.
I go, let me practice.
Just read the
If you guys are watching, if you're actually watching it, I'm throwing blows to the air, pretending that they're
I just made my decision to never get boobs because knowing that you'll just use them as punching bags.
Well, now I'm confused. So they are soft.
Yes.
You act like I know. I
mean, when was this? Like, there's been advances. Like, I feel like fake boobs, like, should be soft.
Was I in undergrad? I think I was in undergrad.
As I'm, like, touching my boobs the whole time.
I was in undergrad.
I don't know. I think it depends on a lot of things. What type of boob you get, who your surgeon is.
You could be like, no, I want, give me the extra firm ones.
Yeah, there's different types. Like there's different types of boobs.
Who's like, you know what? I want the really, really saggy ones.
John,
the jello. Like, I want the most jelloed version of silicone.
And if so, who cares?
There's a lot of money to pay for saggy boobs, saggy silicone. Is it only silicone or is it? Okay. All right, I'll read one more, then that is it. My 34-year-old brother recently got a girlfriend after not.
All right, I'll read the questions from here on out. Thank you, John, for giving me a break. My 34-year-old brother recently got a girlfriend after not having one for over a decade. We all just spent a weekend together recently to attend my grandpa's memorial. At many points during said trip, their public displays of affection were unreal, to the point where all of us felt incredibly awkward, as they would stick their tongues down each other's throats in a room full of several family members, including children. None of us are prude people. We all have significant others who we hold hands with, quick kiss here and there in front of others. But believe me when I say their PDA is far over the line. Does one of us step up and say something, or awkwardly sit through family gatherings from here on out?
Yeah, you fucking say something.
I would say something too.
At the memorial? This just reminds me of old school when Will Ferrell's like hitting on those chicks that are crying.
No, I was going to say in Wedding Crashers.
Oh, shit, that's what I meant.
Yes, I was like in old school.
Wait, Wedding Crashers where they did the same thing.
At funerals,
right.
Yes. Well, number one, I'm sorry for your grandpa passing. I hope it was a lovely memorial either way, regardless of your brother making things awkward.
That's such a puppy love stage of romance that they're in.
But like, it's also self-awareness. I don't think that
I'm not condoning this.
I don't think I've ever been early in a relationship and be like, let me make out with my boyfriend here. Yeah. What would you say?
What would I say?
Yeah, what would you say?
I would have said something mid-memorial, be like, have you lost your motherfucking mind? We're praising Grandpa over here for his life of accomplishments, setting the scene. And you're here sucking face, playing tonsil hockey.
It's disrespectful. The disrespect.
I'm like, you're going to get a kick in the nuts. Square in the fucking nutsack.
Yeah, I just think that
very disrespectful.
Sometimes you do have to call people out for their bad behavior, especially when it is going to affect others and make them feel uncomfortable. Just call them out.
That's like somebody talking on speakerphone on the airplane and we all have to listen.
But we didn't call them out. So it's like, do you call them out? That's the thing.
Yeah, it's your sibling.
Yeah, it's your
sibling.
It's
not a stranger.
I'd be like, lock it up. You're disgusting. Get a room. There's so many things that you could say. Just put them on the spot.
Well, because they're taking over the attention of what it should be on where they're at. You know,
you're not talking about Grandpa anymore. You're talking about
like, what is everyone going to remember from Grandpa's memorial? Little Kenny, you know,
he's not little Kenny. He's 34. Like, you're old enough to know, but I guess he hasn't had a girlfriend in over a decade. He's just, you know, getting his dick wet.
Yeah, for the first time.
Okay, next question. I recently found out a family secret and it's eating me up inside. Any names I mentioned have been changed for privacy. I have 4 sisters. We are all pretty close in age, and I have a good relationship with all of them. However, the oldest one and I are best friends. A few months ago, I was visiting with my parents when my dad mentioned that one of my sisters was on 23andMe. My mom said, oh no. Then he clarified, no, Susie, not Sarah. Sarah is the oldest and my BFF. Here, I'll
just keep going and then cliff note at the end.
Okay. My mom said, oh, good, which then made me ask, why would it matter if either one of them was on 23andMe? They didn't answer the question. I went to my husband and I told him I had a bad feeling. I was about to call my sister, but decided to confront my parents again. When I asked them, my mom said, I was pregnant before I got married, which was common knowledge. We all know my oldest sister was at their wedding. Then I asked, oh, so Sarah is not dad's daughter. Is that what you're saying? They said yes. Apparently, my mom had gotten pregnant and the guy wanted nothing to do with them. And my mom was content doing it on her own, but shortly after met my dad. My dad was at the hospital when my sister was born and had never treated her differently. They said my sister doesn't know. And apparently when she was younger, a similar situation had come up. Okay, John, let me cliff note this. Are Are you not following?
You lost. It's like if the train's going 80 miles an hour, like that's what this sounds like to me.
Okay, listen. So I guess
also, is 23andMe the show?
No, 23andMe is a DNA test.
Oh.
So it's like your family tree. So this girl, she has 4 sisters. The oldest one, her parents thought that she was on 23andMe, but it wasn't her. So the girl who's writing in was like, why is it weird that mom and dad are concerned that Sarah's on 23andMe? And it's because Sarah's not their dad's daughter. The mom has a different father or whatever. The daughter has a different father. Does that make sense?
Got it.
Anyway, when the kids were younger, there was like a movie or something, and the younger daughter was like, or her older sister was like, if this happened to me, I wouldn't want to know. So the mom is like, we can't tell her. Anyway, she continues, now I'm the only one out of all of my siblings who knows this truth, and it's been killing me to keep it from her. I feel a loyalty to her more than my parents at this point, and I want to tell her, but I feel like it isn't my place, and I could be breaking our family apart if I tell her and if I don't. I also found out everyone in the extended family knows on both sides of our family. Every aunt, every uncle, and my cousins. My sisters and I are the only ones who have been oblivious, which I feel like will upset her more if she were to ever find out. Sorry, this was a long one. Any advice?
Oh, it's a matter of time before it comes out. So
Cliff notes.
We don't need Cliff notes. We already got it.
Are you sure?
Yeah, I got it.
So
it's a secret she has that one of her
sisters
sisters.
From a different father. Nobody knows.
Yeah.
But now you're the only sister who knows.
Right. It's just like that question where she knew about her sister cheating on her husband or whatever.
Yeah.
I just think you're going to have a family gathering. People are going to drink. Someone's going to say something. It's going to eventually come out.
Well,
I know it's probably eating
because
at you.
it hasn't between the aunts, uncles, and cousins yet. Like everyone has known.
It's got to be a matter of time.
I don't think so. I think that you now have this information. I would talk to my parents and be like, similar to like what we said with this girl.
No.
I would say you guys have to tell her.
The difference is it's not, is this like almost like a white lie?
It's a little bit more than a white lie.
Well, just because I'm just thinking like the other question, her sister cheated on her husband, which would like detrimental to him, which I guess this could be detrimental to this sister, but it can also be detrimental the other way too.
Think about if your sister Jen, you found out that
I'm adopted because I always thought I was adopted.
No, John, but that's not how this is in the story. Think about if Jen was from a different father, your dad who you grew up with and only knew him as your dad of your family. Think about how that would affect your sister. But you know now. Would you tell Jen? Like, what would you do?
But my dad's like my dad.
He's your dad.
To life. Okay. Whatever secret he wants me to hold, I got him.
Shut up.
To the grave, baby.
What?
He's my dad.
Okay. But like your sister, who's still your blood sister, now you find out is your half sister.
They've given my sister a great life. Who knows what who knows what the other dad's like?
I think I disagree.
Is he a piece of shit?
If I found out.
What's the other dad like?
He's not in the picture.
There's a reason.
Exactly. He didn't want to be involved. And so
fuck him then.
The other dad honestly has nothing to do with it. This has to do with the sister knowing who her real dad is and knowing that she, like, her dad, her real dad, as in your dad, stepped in as your dad. Do you not think
it's going to cause more harm than good? Like, is her sister living a great life? Is she happy?
The truth will set you free.
So you're doing it for your own self reasons.
I would want to know. I mean, I just think you know your sister best. Apparently, according to your mom, your sister at some point said when she was a kid, she wouldn't want to know.
That's a stretch.
Exactly. Like, you know your sister best now. You're super close. Would she want to know? I'm sure she fucking would. I think.
You're assuming. And I'm assuming the other way.
Don't know them, John. That's why I'm saying you know your sister better than we fucking do.
You just said, I'm sure she would want to know. I'm like, assuming.
Okay, you're right.
If we're in the court of law, that is speculation. That is what they call speculation.
I think that...
Rephrase.
I would go to my parents and I would say, you better fucking tell them at some point. We can have a family meeting, or I will. Because I can't keep
So you're
that
doing it
secret.
for your own reasons. That's selfish. That's selfish.
Okay, table, flip the script. You're not from your dad, fucking from another father. You want to know?
No.
Yeah, you would.
Hear me out. Is my life good? Is my life good?
If Jen knew this whole time,
the dad
that
left.
you weren't.
The dad left for a reason. The dad left for a
I
reason.
know it has nothing
Fuck
to do with
that
the
guy.
fucking dad. It has to do with
He doesn't
knowing
deserve to know
that
her.
like your dad who raised you isn't your dad. Like you could still love him and appreciate him for being the person who raised you and consider him your dad. That is no question. But I think
What if this
whose
scars
blood
her?
you are, also for health purposes, it's just good to know your family history.
What if he's a murderer?
I'm literally supposed to
What
be
if he's
saving my
what if he's a
voice.
murderer? That's
John,
gonna fuck up her psyche. Be like,
I'm
I
literally
am
look,
a daughter
Kobe's
of a
coming
murderer.
into town. Kobe even is. Kobe even wants to. I think.
I'm a daughter of a murderer.
I'm not saying it's because she wants to have a relationship with her biological father. The dad who raised her is her dad. He has taken over that role. That is no question. But I think for anyone would want to know that the dad who they've been considering their biological father, if that's not your actual dad, I would want to know that.
If he was a murderer, would you still want to tell her?
I'm
Just answer the question.
Yeah.
You would want to know.
Yeah.
That'd fuck up my psyche. I wouldn't want to know. Unless my dad's loaded.
John?
Unless he was kicked out, not from his
I hate
own.
that I can't even laugh. Like
If he was kicked out of the picture for no harm from him, that's
he
unfair.
wasn't kicked out. He didn't want to be involved.
I know. He's a piece of shit. Fuck that guy. It seems like he's not a good dude. There's a reason he doesn't get to be part of the picture.
No one's saying he needs to be involved. The sister has a right to know, though. The dad.
Be a good sister. If it's not good for her, I wouldn't tell her.
So listen, just hear me out.
I've heard you. We talked about this way too long.
No. Hear me out. If in 5 years from now you find out that your dad isn't your dad, and you find out that Jen knew for 5 years,
I would throw punch her.
so there's.
But that doesn't mean I should.
There's your answer. If you don't want to get throat punched by your sister, tell her.
No. Just don't say anything, because then I would never have to throat punch her. But
would
then if
feel
I
like-
found out my sister knew for this
If
long,
I found out that my siblings knew, I would feel like my whole life was a lie. I'd be like, what else are you keeping from me? Like, that is a huge lie to keep.
so save yourself. Don't say anything. And if it comes out, lie and say you never knew.
John, that's even worse. Don't lie. Make your parents tell her, or you do, because you're not a liar. We don't like
What
liars.
I'm hearing, though, is just seems like you're just trying to relieve yourself.
Of course.
And you're not more so looking at what's best for your sister. Is it or is it not? I don't know, because I don't know enough about it. If the dad is a horrible person, like maybe it's not best for them to know. But if he's a good guy or a normal person, then yeah, maybe you should tell her.
The dad has
Think about her
nothing
psyche.
to do with it.
Yes, it does. It has everything to do with it.
No, it doesn't.
Whether it was a mom or a dad, how good is that person?
But they're
Is
not
he
in
gonna
the
help her?
picture. It doesn't matter. Like, they could be dead.
We're talking in fucking circles.
So we're disagreeing. You say don't tell her. I say
Depending on the traits of the individual.
I think that whoever her biological dad is doesn't fucking matter. I think you have this conversation with your parents and you say, this is on you. I can't believe that they've gone this long without just saying that your dad has adopted you.
I can. The amount of questions that we get of people being very passive blows.
This isn't passive.
Blows
This is
my
just
mind.
a full out
No.
lie.
But
this
people
is a
like
huge family secret.
people. I know it's really hard for people to like discuss things that are hard. So like I could see why
They're like, let's
they just avoid the whole situation altogether. Like me would eat me alive. Don't tell me any secrets or anything. Like I need to like talk about it. But if a lot of people are just like
This
passive.
is making me think, what family secrets do we have? Like in our
I'm
family?
always the last one to know anything in my family. Always. I think they all have a discussion. Be like, are you ready to tell John now?
I feel like I just need to like sit down with grandma one day and just be like, spill it, Grams. What's the tea? I should do that with my parents too. I'm just curious. Like, because when you're kids, ignorance is bliss. You have no idea. But I felt like the older that I got, I was learning some like terrible shit that like went down in my family.
Right.
And I'm like, what?
Well, they try to guard you from it.
I know, but I'm like, what else?
Tell me the deets.
Tell me the deets.
Don't tell me anything. I want to live in my little happy bubble. I don't want
John,
to know shit.
Your
I
happy
don't watch
bubble
the news.
is like not even that happy. So like that's so.
As soon as I heard about the Ukraine war, for example,
That is.
I'm just saying, I'm just totally invested in it. That's why I don't want to watch the news, anything. I don't want any sort of like
You're already negative
negativity.
enough on your own without having people.
I'm so involved in the Ukraine war and any news surrounding that.
This
that
is
it's
just
just
making
like,
your anxiety worse. All right.
it's not anxiety.
Next question. I need some serious advice because I think I'm nuts. For background, my husband and I are 32 and 33. We've been married for 4 years, and a little over a year ago had our first baby, Ella. He has always picked at the idea of the one that got away. So she wrote, he's always picked at the idea, which like,
He's
what does that
probably
mean?
like talked about it in passing, like,
Okay, because
You're
I was
not the
like,
one I loved.
like laughed at the idea about the one that got away.
my
So
one
just-
true love got away.
Sure. Just the general theory
Got
of the
it.
one that got away. I know his last relationship was pretty serious, but one of them cheated on the other and they broke up. That's about all I know. When I gave birth to our baby, we hadn't talked much about names, and I was indecisive. And my husband said, "How about Ella?" I thought
That's
it was
his ex-girlfriend's name. 100%.
I thought it was so cute and fit perfectly. Fast forward to a few weeks ago, we went to lunch with his family, and I was talking to his mom and overheard him and his brother's conversation about the one that got away and his ex-girlfriend whose name was Ella. I hate drama and acted as if I heard nothing, but this keeps me up at night. Am I crazy? Do you think he still has feelings for her? Should I call him out? I just think it's gross and wrong, and I haven't heard the name Ella the same since. Help.
You want to know why our life expectancy is so low? Is people keep things inside.
Right.
That is crazy. Good for you for showing restraint in the moment, but then not talking about it.
I know.
How do you sleep?
Also,
I would put a
okay.
bar of soap in a sock and just beat.
I don't know if a bar of soap would really, isn't it like rocks or like locks?
I saw it in is it Full Metal Jacket? Didn't he put a bar of soap in his sock and they're like wailing on him? Yeah.
Well, anyway, enough of abuse. I think after 4 years, you guys have been married for 4 years. I think I know most of your ex-girlfriend's names. Like if you were like, let's name our baby
I don't want to talk about it.
XYZ, I would be like, no. Like, and again, maybe these just weren't conversations that you had, but like, I think the most odd thing that I think is that you didn't know about Ella. However, even if she was just like some sort of
The fact that he didn't really want to talk about it and you don't even know who cheated on who means he's still damaged from it. To not be able to talk about a relationship.
what sucks now is like your baby's name is Ella. Like, do you just
Is she birthed?
yeah? she's birthed.
She birthed?
She's born.
She breached?
She's borned.
She borned it.
She's here on planet Earth, and her name is Ella, the name of her husband's ex-girlfriend.
I got an idea.
Don't love that.
You can be like, yeah, we've been calling you Ella for a while, but your actual name is Eleanor.
Yeah, but then you would still like for short call her Ella.
Yeah, but maybe to like
That's
kind
not even
of
the
like
issue,
getting
though.
a tattoo.
The issue is the husband not saying.
Well, we're trying to do some
where that name.
We're
came
trying to
from.
do some damage control right now on the name.
Oh, you're just saying, okay, forget about that though. How does she address it with her husband? I mean, I would call him out and be like, motherfucker, did you have an ex-girlfriend named Ella?
Also, the shitty thing is now that you've been harboring this and like you haven't talked about it, it almost loses some of its like
No, it doesn't.
when you go to take it. Because
No.
if I was the guy, I'd be like, wait a minute, you're getting mad at me for something that happened like a month ago, like whenever it was.
I don't think so.
I think so because you should have done it like when you got home.
Of course, the sooner the better, but I don't think it's too late. Like
I'm not saying it's too late, but I think it loses some of its umph a little bit.
I think that you could still, all you have to do is say, it took me a minute to like, I was processing this and I was like, I couldn't have heard this right. So I just want to clarify.
How long did it take you to
was
process
that correct?
it?
No, because maybe she misheard. So I think number one, addressing something sooner than later is best to make sure that what you're hearing is correct.
Also,
Clarify.
giving yourself a day or two to like, just get your thoughts in order before you say something. Like,
Right.
But I wouldn't have waited that long.
Well, whatever. It's too late. She waited. Now it's time to address it with your husband. And
I'd be like, you're gonna tell me We're going to sit down. You're going to tell me everything about your ex right now.
I don't care. You don't need.
Yeah, you do. Yeah,
I don't need to know all about her. I'm more concerned about like, why did you think it was appropriate to name our fucking daughter?
No, that's just scratching the surface. There is some deeper emotion that's attached to this.
Okay, it's layered. I think you need to find out, was his ex-girlfriend actually named Ella? You know, like, did you mishear this, or was it you? Is this for a fact?
How many things rhyme with Ella? Bella, Stella.
That's true. You could change her name still.
Rella.
So once you confirm that his ex is Ella, that's when you deep dive into the conversation about.
There's a pyramid here, and the tip of the pyramid.
Let's draw a diagram.
Is the issue of the name. Then right below that is all the other bullshit in relation to this relationship that he had that he doesn't want to talk about. You gotta get in there. You gotta start chipping away.
Imagine we had like a son, and I was like, oh, what do you think about the name? And then I just, without you knowing, said one of my exes. And then you found out. Let's just name him this. It's like a tribute to your ex.
I know exactly where you just got this from, by the way. I know who does that.
Who?
You're copying mannerisms from people. Sean.
Oh, he does. I'll copy Sean all day long.
Is that funny? Like, you hang out with people,
right.
And you start, like, my laugh changes sometimes when I'm hanging out with people long enough.
It's like you are our personalities just pieces of other people? Are we just like built off of other people?
Basically.
Basically.
I always said there's only so many personalities in the world, and you didn't agree with me, but there is.
No. Yeah, you're right. I didn't agree with you.
Happy, angry, sad.
No, John, those aren't
depressed.
Personalities. Those are feelings.
That's what makes a personality.
That's.
Yes.
No, it's not.
I'm right.
No. Okay. But you're right. Yeah, I think that is from Sean, who is about to be our editor. You guys will meet Sean eventually.
Not for the podcast. That's Goo. Let's not take away Goo's job.
Oh, Sean was actually on the podcast. I forgot.
Was
all of our favorite people have been on the podcast.
Was he really?
Yeah. He talked about having a relationship with his ex.
I don't remember.
Yeah.
Okay, whatever. Yeah. So
wow, John really made an impact. I can't wait to tell Sean.
I can't even remember what I ate this morning. Anyways, good luck. Do we answer it?
Okay, so no, you didn't. You just said that there was a pyramid of bullshit.
Good
you
luck.
Just said there's a pyramid of bullshit.
No, I did. You have to. We're just putting out fires right now. You got to change the name. If it's the ex, you got to change that name. Eleanor, it is.
I don't know. Do you think that he still has feelings though?
Yeah.
You do?
I said that. Are you not paying attention to me? I said that multiple times. Maybe it's either he doesn't have feelings of, like, that he wants to be with this girl, but he obviously has. It's not like, I don't know the word I'm looking for. Not like closed. It wasn't like case closed with him, it feels like.
There was no closure?
Yeah. Case closed. Yeah, I feel like the closure wasn't really there for him.
Right.
I mean, obviously, if you just was like, yeah, like one of us cheated on each other and that's all you know about that, that's fucking weird.
And also, like, who cheated on who? Because I feel like that's important also.
Yeah.
But no, you're not crazy. And I do think you should call him out. But yeah, best of luck, girly squirrely pop. Keep us posted. And also, like, if you do change your baby's name, I want to know. Like, are you going to keep it? I don't know if I would be able to keep it. Because once you get down to the dirty of it, down to the nitty gritty.
Eleanor. My aunt's name was
Eleanor. I like what you said, like Bella or Stella or
Well, no, because I guess you'd have to like fully change it. I wanted to keep it with Ella because your daughter associates herself with that name.
Well, she's young. She doesn't know. People have changed their babies' names before.
Okay, then do
anyway,
whatever the fuck you want.
That's it.
Real quick, we got a follow-up on the guy who proposed to his fiance.
Right. Wait, did you read it?
Yeah, basically.
Wait, should we give like the play-by-play? So if you don't remember from the episode, a listener wrote in, he was reaching out to a photographer to surprise his future fiance, his girlfriend, for an engagement. He wanted a photographer to capture it. His girlfriend at the time saw that he was messaging a girl, but didn't want to ruin the surprise. But she was immediately suspicious about what was going on. And so she was like, are you cheating on me? Was concerned. And then he wrote in and was like, what do I do? And we decided to never speak to any girls again for the rest of his life. Just kidding.
Did you want me to read this? Or
Yeah, read the update. Read the update.
How it really went down was option A, and I asked her to trust me, and she seemed to let go of it within a day or two externally. Sunday,
John, add a little bit more life. Like this guy.
Sunday, May 28th at 8:15 p.m. I proposed to her, and here is the proof as requested. So he sent us a photo, but I can't.
Yay!
I can't open the attachment. One, congrats. He goes, as we walked off from the shoot, I told her that she was on Give It To Me Straight podcast, and she was in disbelief. As we drove home, we listened to the podcast, and she could not stop laughing at your advice. She particularly seemed to agree with John's shit or get off the pot buddy comment, and Alex's reaction to D, never ever talk to a girl, was the best option there.
Congratulations.
Congrats.
I'm just glad that you didn't wait and you listened to John's advice.
Shit or get off the pot buddy.
Yeah, that's fabulous. Congrats, guys. Now, wedding planning. Good luck.
Yeah. Good luck with that.
Or just elope.
All right, icks. I don't really have.
You want me to go? You don't have an egg? That's shocking.
I mean, my ick is just getting older, my hangover anxiety getting worse. And then also my back, having to take ibuprofen, like moving shit around yesterday.
Yeah.
I don't trust my back.
I think it's just like, we're in another season of packing shit up again. Like, we're pros at this point, just like moving stuff around. So our contractors came, and they came like 3 days before they're supposed to come in. And obviously John and I haven't moved anything. And they're like, are you guys going to be done by the time we come in? We're like, we'll do this within probably 2 hours.
Who do you think we are?
And we did. We got it all done except for this stuff. This is last to go. But my ick, besides losing my voice because I don't know how to properly use my vocal cords, every time you go to kill a bug, which there's a lot because I don't know, it's just the season, you smash it and always leave its guts smeared on the walls.
Alex, when it's 8 feet in the air and I have to hit it with a cloth, what do you expect me to do?
It could be here and you just go whack. Like, that's
Here's
not how
my ick. You go, John, come here and kill this bug that you can kill and you're fucking right next to it.
No, I can't. They're too crunchy. The exoskeletons will make me throw up. I think like you just have to get like a tissue and like grab them and then squeeze them.
We live in the wild kingdom out here. It's crazy. I'm having a battle with these house finches.
Speaking of
lizards,
the wild kingdom, Animal Kingdom is a place in Disney that we should go to.
So somebody take Alex.
Please.
Okay, so we're not going to do a review this week because Alex and I don't ever pay attention on which reviews we've read or not.
So
we don't want to feel like losers and read the same review over again. So we're going to start fresh.
So leave us a fresh review, guys,
and we'll actually
read it in order.
We'll read it, but we'll read it in order, or not in order. We'll just read it and then cross off the list that we've read.
This is what we hired you for.
Yeah, why are we
doing this?
We hired you should do it.
We're paying you for this. It's public knowledge. All right, guys, thank you so much for tuning in.
Like, subscribe, email, comment, review.
You could reach us at hello@giveittomestraightpodcast.com, and you could click the links in our bios on Instagram and YouTube at Give It To Me Straight Podcast if you need advice.
And we'll see you next week.
Ciao, ciao. Bye.
Bye.